Good morning, everybody. Thank y'all for joining. I guess some of y'all that were in a chat last night saw what I was going to be talking about, and I feel like it's important. Don't worry, the music will stop in a minute. I just want to get people in kind of a better mood. I don't want to be so negative. Let's be on a positive note today, and try to sift through some BS. Now, what I'm going to tell you today is what we were taught. So don't take it as fact, but this came from the mouth of John and Candace and other people that were very close. And you might have heard it and you might not, but it's not what the most popular narrative is. So hold on one second. Right here is great. All right, guys. Huh? Yeah, I know, dude. We're going to turn it off. All right. Good morning, everybody. So, where do we start out? Maybe about the live last night. I want to kind of talk about that a little bit. So, hey guys, good morning, everybody. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today, and I've actually put together some pretty good information. I do have some fact stuff we're going to go over, but I feel like this is important because when you hear what I'm going to tell you about the removal of the boys, it's going to make you think. And this is Allie's back here behind the green screen. So how is the best way for me to go about this? So how do we put this? How did we initially hear about this?
Well, we were told.
Yeah, like early.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I kept it quiet because, and we're going to go over the specifics of the gag order and everything, because the reason I didn't talk about it is because I didn't want to break that and I didn't want to hinder anything. But I went over it because I got fed up with BS. I said, screw it, I'm going to talk about it. But then I thought, I'm like, I'm better than this. Let's look at what that means, the gag order. And it's basically for the parents and people that are directly involved in that case. So we're going to talk about it.
And by the way, guys, I will be back on camera probably
tonight.
Yeah, tonight. Our son has an eye doctor's appointment, and I gotta go get him and pick him up from school, and yeah. So.
But she's here. She's here. She's invisible right now. She's the silent part today. The voice of reason. No, that was the beard of reason.
Oh. I'm like Mr. Oz behind the green screen.
I do not understand why the green screen makes my teeth blue.
I don't understand that.
I like it. That's funny. Guys, I'm in a better mood this morning. Yesterday, look, people, I hope you saw the point of that live stream. I was doing an experiment. You saw directly live somebody who was pushing opinion as fact. And I asked her, what facts back up your theory? And we also showed how much hate people are carrying around for people they don't even know. It's terrible. Look, I don't know that woman from Adam. Every time I'd had a comment to her, an email, very respectful. But she had a hidden agenda, and it is wild, guys. It blew my mind last night. And people chasing poured her heart out last night, and she's amazing. Look, people. So how are we? Because we don't straight out the gate cry out for somebody to be crucified, does not mean we're sympathizers. It's called logically thinking through all of it. And we'll continue to do that because it has to be done. And guys, look, last night y'all touched my heart so much. You guys are the real deal. Last night I was in another chat, and there were some straight hateful people. And I commented, I said, look, I'm done with it. So many people rallied and showed support of us in that chat, it blew my mind. Guys, I appreciate y'all so much. This ain't been easy. And by no means, it's not hard. You know, the person that's had it hardest is Summer. So I feel bad even complaining. This is petty compared to what that child has had to endure. But at the same time, it's taken a toll on all of us, even people that are watching. I know it has. And it's DCS, actually, not DCF in Tennessee. And no, there's more facts, Robin, than that. But like I said, what I'm going to talk about with the removal of the boys and placed in a new home, I've got news clippings. We're going to talk about it. So what was it that Don said when he first was asked why the boys were taken? Does anybody know? That the property had become dangerous, right? And that people were trespassing, and he went back to drinking. That's what he said. News people covered it. It was more than drinking. And I can attest to, we were told, you know, besides what happened in October of 2020, when Candace and him had the altercation, charges were filed. Don wasn't like an everyday drinker. He had his vices. And, you know, we were even told by Candace, Don doesn't drink beer. And he, you know, since Summer went missing, they were kind of rage drinking. Always substance abuse. But I think after Summer went missing, it escalated a lot more than it had been. Oh, and before you get your pitchforks out, I'm not defending the Wells. I'm just saying, logically thinking, anybody that has an addiction, if something tragic happens, their addiction is going to increase, or their substance intake is going to increase. Correct? I mean, is that fair to say? Well, because I'm talking about Don and Candace, it's no. They were. What is it? They were. I mean, she just must chug a gallon of liquor every night. I mean, that's.
Yeah. And she must have been doing that before Summer disappeared and the boys got taken, because she done it after.
What was that? What was it she said that made her not be able to lie? Her. What was it?
Fiber optic opportunity?
Not her fiber optic. Her. Oh gosh, somebody in here tell me. What was it she said? Oh gosh, guys, it's funny. What was it she said? It's like she couldn't lie. What made it that she couldn't lie?
I don't know.
Metabolism.
Metabolism?
She said her metabolism wouldn't let her lie.
Wow.
That is a good metabolism. It goes above and beyond.
It does. It does things that metabolism, no other metabolism.
It doesn't only burn fat.
It burns lies.
It just burns some lies right up and sends it through the fiber optics.
Gives you more opportunities.
Yes, and pictures do show a decline in the way that the children and everybody looked. And there was something going on that that I don't think has been told. So there's been huge claims about meth abuse and all that. I can tell you from what I witnessed up there, and I would be straight up, if I felt like they were on that, I would call it how I see it. Don is he likes cocaine and crack. He likes smoke crack. So what Don does to make himself feel better is he calls everybody else a meth head, because he's not a meth head, he's a cokehead. I'm not saying he's not ever done it before, but his drug of choice is cocaine. And Don is the kind of person that when he messes up, like if he knows that he's gonna have a piss test and he falls short and messes up, he makes Candace do it too, so that he's not going down alone for it. And I'll tell you how we know that. Okay, and this kind of goes in to what we were told about the boys. My 3 healers. When an addict experiences tragedy, there is an increased risk of increased use or relapse.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. That's correct.
And that's what I was saying last night about Candace's drinking. We don't have a baseline of what she was doing before the kids were taken, the boys were taken, and before Summer was missing. We don't have a baseline. We don't know how much she drank then. She might not have drank as much, as heavily then, and got as intoxicated.
Right.
So that's not fair for us to say, because none of us were there. None of us were in that home. None of us knew that this family even existed.
Well, including, from Holly, she said that we've known them forever because.
Well, of course we have Cameron.
Don't say my real name. And don't tell them that your mom owns the Meadows. Oh my God. Spoiler alert. That was a joke. My name is not Cameron. And by all the people, well, people should know that by now because all the people that like to dox us on a regular basis.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, classy. Oh, and look, she wasn't the only one. Now I have old White Boy Radio. He's begged me to talk to him since we were on Burnt Toast. And if you didn't witness that, I believe everything needed to be said that was said on that live. But the guy has begged for 2 weeks for me to answer it. So I went over and I said, "What, bro?" He said, "Why are you over here in this chat?" I said, "You literally have a community post from a few hours ago asking me to come over. You came over here and made it the Cam show." I said, "Dude, you just spent the last 15 minutes talking about me and my picture and said that, that I struck him for using my picture in a thumbnail, which I would never do. He promotes me. He is my best promoter. You know what I'm saying? So why would I hate on him?" And I told him that. It's just ridiculous. And I'm not going over there and entertaining. What's he claiming that? What's the Aryan Circle?
Yeah, whatever that is.
I'm not the one with SS bolts on me, bro. I showed my tattoos last night, and we're gonna get real. I'm gonna get real personal with y'all. I was on the glare last night, and I talked about something for my testimony, and I showed my scars. And my scars are a reminder of what God brought me from. Okay. I like to be real with y'all and in depth with y'all and let y'all, I don't know how to explain that. Somebody in the chat last night was like, "How dare you cuss at that one?" I said, "Look, I'm not going to be one of those Christians that acts like when they get saved that sin does not affect them anymore. Because that's not reality. I will be real all day, and I will fall short, and I will repent and ask for forgiveness, and I'll never, I make mistakes, and people, it is what it is. That's real life. But if I made a mistake last night, I asked that people forgive me. I just really was trying to show how bad this has gotten, and there's more. Look, there's so many more that are just like her. And guys, I wanted her. She spoke for herself. And the claims of saying this woman from December didn't get paid till January. We literally helped that woman in her time of need right then and there. Tracy. Look, every bit of our content we've ever done on YouTube is in the video section. Go check it out. We don't dirty delete. It's all there. So, sorry, I had to talk about that. Yeah, that is true. Look, when you fall, this is the thing. When you make a mistake and you fall, the way you pick yourself up and you learn your lesson for what made you fall short, and you try to not repeat that mistake, that's when you're truly growing as a person, right? Sorry, guys, if I haven't seen some of y'all's comments. I'm trying to not get off track and talk, just keep it flowing. Because, oh my gosh, if y'all haven't seen the skit that was performed of me, I'm talking
Dead
about
on.
Academy Award.
Dead
Dead on. White Boy Radio did a skit of me. And I mean, it's just uncanny. He is holding what looks to be his mother's flower vase full of pee.
Oh, it doesn't look like a flower vase.
It was very strange. Very strange. And it was almost, I'm being honest. Please watch it. It's kind of sad. Is it true that you're related to Robin Lane? Oh my gosh,
Oh,
Valkyrie
is that a
Corner found our secret. No, that's not true.
Wow.
I'm not being a smart butt to you. I just think it's funny. No, I'm not related to Robin Lane. Why? I mean, she's a pretty woman. Are you saying that I'm a pretty man? Do I look like I'm related to her? That's the call. I'm just playing. Just joking. Okay, let's see here. The truth shall set you free. Yeah, I don't know. Like last night was just crazy. Like I knew. I give her props that she came up here and but then she ran and said she got ambushed. Go watch that and tell me how that one was ambushed. She asked me to do a live and answer her questions, and I obliged. I did it, and then I don't know. Nobody was ambushed. That it went down, and the point was proven. So there's that. Next subject, moving on. Who's the skit done by? Oh, it's White Boy Radio. I know you did Valkyrie Scorn. I wasn't trying to be rude to you. I just think it's funny. Okay. Are you drunk right now? Betty Joe asked. I'm straight. Wow. Are you being serious right now? Is that a serious question? Am I drunk right now? Yeah, I don't. I'm not one of the. I'm just not a morning drinker. Fact is, I don't drink. That wasn't my. I never had like a real issue with that. I mean, I drank as a teenager because it was the only thing to do around here, and it's like it's not an excuse, but you like ran to the mountain and you went and got drunk with your buddies. We're high on Jesus right now, Miss Betty. Hash Brown said, "Amen." That's right. Are you drunk right now on the Holy Spirit, Miss Betty? Because I feel it's coming. Look, when we get into it later, and this ain't preaching, it just happens. Look, if you're speaking from the heart, you'll know because you'll feel it. That's with anybody. I love that feeling. Only God can give you. And look, I told last night, I used to curse God. I asked, I used to be, I only watched me speak to God in the most awful way. And I didn't deserve for his grace and to change my life. But he loved me. And last night, some Christians believe that some people don't deserve God like they have it. That is the farthest thing from the truth. When a person comes into church and they don't look like you, they don't fit in, have the nice suit on and stuff, that's okay. Because that person, you might judge them and they might know their scripture better than anybody and live by it better than anybody. So we got to take a minute and we got to really assess somebody and really talk to somebody. Don't judge them on appearance. But my dad instilled in me that your first impressions, like when you meet somebody at a job or something, when you look good, smell good, and you speak properly, that's how that person will remember you forever. So first impressions are important. That's kind of off subject, but hey, look, this is my channel, and we'll talk about what we want to. I bet somebody said it. What does this have to do with summer? Oh, we haven't got there yet, but I promise it will. Don't worry. Hold on to your seats. It's coming. Miss hearing you sing, Tina G. You last night, y'all, yesterday's live, the first one. We sang it. I sang a lot yesterday. So go check that out. It was a good one. I miss singing too. I feel like this is an attack on your sobriety. Hey, look, it's been an attack on Stardust. It has been. It's okay. This is the truth right here. If you're under attack, that means that the enemy, the devil, feels that you're a threat.
You're doing something right.
That means you're doing something right. Now, look, if you ain't doing nothing and you're like destroying yourself, just sitting and drinking your sorrows or whatever it is, the enemy doesn't attack you because he'll let you just destroy yourself. You're not a threat to him. But when you stand up against the masses of hate, and look, it doesn't matter who you are. We've seen that people are very angry and very ruthless through this. That's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. What's going on? Are people talking crap in the chat? Mods, look, you know how it is. Warn them. You can have a difference of opinion, but don't come over here slinging that hate and that mean-spirited talk, because it ain't gonna fly here. It's not appreciated. You ain't proving nothing. You're showing your ignorance. And look, the definition of ignorance is lack of knowing. So don't take it to heart. I'm just saying,
That's fine.
Chat's fine. Okay, well, I read that wrong, but I wanted to add that. Okay, so for when it gets bad, there's that. Okay, what's next? I feel like I'm sitting so low in my chair. Whoop. I got the old camo pants on. All right, let's see. All that matters is you're trying. Your wife is by your side. Look, that woman is the best blessing in my life. I didn't deserve a woman like her. But God blessed me with her. And she stood by my side through thick and thin, through the worst times. That's when you build a relationship. When the person you're with is die hard, ride or die with you through thick and thin, no matter how hard you will show your appreciation for one another will grow so much. Because you're like, look, me and you went through that. We made it through that. And me and this woman right here have been through more than some people even, go through once. And I appreciate her. She's I believe God broke the mold with that one right there.
Oh, gosh.
He did.
That's not true.
It is true. Please accept my apologies if I played a role in her feeling ambushed. I was getting crazy with super chat. Hey, look. So she got what she dishes out. And she brought that on herself. I told her I apologize. I don't hold no malice or anger towards her. But she made it a point last night before to tell us she didn't like us. She came in with the attitude, said I needed to slow my roll on my channel. I let it slide, y'all. I try really hard to be respectful. But the things that towards the end and talking about the essay stuff that I went through and trying to put words in my mouth, and she made a clip. Really, she clipped it to make it sound like I said something. And I called her out on it. And she got really angry in her comments and told me to leave. But, yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so next things next. I gotta get some drink. I'm so thirsty. Your wife is your ride or die. That's right. Hey, look, man, these trolls, though, these people, though, when you call them out, they won't come up here on the panel. Some of them might, and they're going to try to do something to sabotage you, but they won't come up here and have a real discussion. I've invited them because once they do it and people see what's really happening, credibility goes out the window, right? And I don't pretend that I know everything, but I really try to pay attention to the things that have been proven as fact, what law enforcement has said, and things that we know to be 100%. I can't say no more than that. things I've said early on that me and her have said about the polygraph. Months later, when law enforcement clarified it, I was like, there it is. I tried to give it to people early, and they straight were like, you're lying. Yeah, look, I ain't got no reason to lie. And so Bullhorn Betty said, took Candace 2 weeks to pass her polygraph. Well, I'm going to prove that that's wrong. That's not. I've got the clip to show exactly play by play what happened with the polygraphs, and I had not seen this. McKenna, look. Get up, stand up for your rights. I don't know why that song come in my head. Allie has a huge heart. She does. Where's your partner? Pretty girl. She's right here behind the green screen. She's right there.
I'm getting ready to go.
She's getting ready. She's to take she's gotta go get her son from school. He's got an eye appointment. Who was on here last night? I'm lost. I'll let the chat answer your question. Okay, so the people's crackpot theories. The lady last night had some good points because she said that. Okay, look, and I did some. What good points did she have? I'm really curious. I did some. I looked into what Benny was talking about, and when he got paid, he got like a $1,400 sent to him from 423 Chase. That did happen. Now I don't know about Tim Mullen and their exchange of money, but I do remember. I looked it up, and 423 Chase had given him $1,400. I don't know why, but
well, that was said.
That was said, right, by them, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? Where did I? Yeah, okay.
I read that
Let me
somewhere.
retract that. Let me retract that. So that's what was said. It's not. I'm not saying that as 100%. But I remember that because remember he sent him. Didn't he 423 Chase say he was going to? He was sending people, all sorts of people, money. He was, and look, she came at me over the billboard. Oh, by the way, we'll go over them receipts. I just didn't feel like she deserved to see them. I had them up, and I was gonna show her, but then she started, on her jabs. Her very. Look, I wasn't gonna play that last night. You're gonna tell me that I don't put off the right vibe for somebody who's been SA'd. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sorry if I don't put off the right vibe. Am I supposed to act like a little shaken dog in the corner? I don't know. I can tell you that the person who did that to me took a lot from me. And that's what they do to people. They victimize. They take a part of you, masculinity's a big part of you, and you feel like less of a man. This is real talk right here. For a man to come out and speak about something like and say that another man took advantage of him, especially when I was a child, they steal something from you and they take that and they try to hold it forever. That's evil. That right there shows you how evil that is. And look, it's taken me a lot of years to recover and be able to say, I forgive the sin, but I pray that God, he will have to face God for the things he's done. Okay. There's that. I don't even like talking. It gets me in a bad mood. Yeah. Anyway. So I shared last night. I was on the glare last night. I was talking with him and Burnt Toast, and I shared something about my life. And before we get into this, look, bear with me. I got some good stuff to show y'all. But So I feel like it's the right time to share this. Somebody I feel like needs to hear this. So part of my testimony is that when me and my mom were in a car wreck when I was 14, got hit by a tandem coal truck. My mom had a brain injury, and it took her like 3 months to. She was like acting like a child, and it really messed her up. And my mom was not ever the same again. She is functioning, but brain injuries are a weird thing, right? Oh, sound. Is there? Can y'all really not hear me? So my mom had went through. She's picked men over us. Okay. So at 12 years old, my stepdad didn't want me in the house, so I got off the school bus, and I guess they had this plan to say I was unruly, and my mom, like, kind of, and I forgive her for this. We've moved past it, but she scratched my eyes, and then they called the police and said that I came in and was like grabbed her wrist and all. I left immediately, and I walked to a friend's house, and the police were already there waiting for me. I went to juvie. So in the state of Virginia, when you go to the first juvenile detention center, which holds multiple counties, the longest sentence you stay there is 6 months, or that's what it was when I was there. So I got a 6-month ride on the first time. My mom sat in court, and I literally watched her lie on the stand against me, and it really hurt me. And I didn't understand what was going on, right? So my cellmate in juvie was a 17-year-old guy. His name was, I'm just going to say his last name was Harvey. And he, when you're a little kid and you're 12 and you got a 17-year-old, 12-year-old and 17-year-old are a way different mind. 17-year-old has matured more. Well, at 12 years old, I was trying to teach him how to read. During the day, this guy was really cool to me. But at nighttime, when the lights out, he would get up and beat on me all night long. Like it was miserable. I went through this for like 3 months till I got brave to ask to be moved. He would beat me at nighttime, and I would literally cry all night. And I'm not ashamed to say that. So years later, after I met Allie, and I started not getting in trouble anymore and stuff. And I said it wrong last night. So one of my friends had went to jail, to adult jail, and he had gotten out. He was in there for a while. He gotten out, and he said, "Yo, man, there was this guy talking about you, and said it was bragging about beating you up when y'all were in juvenile detention, and was saying that you were 12 and stuff." That my friend told him. He said, "Are you talking about Cam?" I'm not gonna say Camden. And dude said, "Yeah, you know him." And he said, "I bet you wouldn't beat on him now if you saw him." But I got to actually talk to him later, and I could have handled it like, I'm going to beat you up and I'm going to show you I can overpower you now. But I told him I forgave him. Because it really messed with my head, man. It was more than that. Like, it really scarred me. And I'm telling these people this for a reason. When I said I felt like I didn't have a purpose, and I felt like I was a mistake, because I can sit here and tell you things that I've went through, and it sounds like a fairy tale, like nobody could ever go through this kind of misfortune and bad, just a miserable life. Okay, so I covered up these things that hurt me with my addiction, and I always said I would never put a needle in my arm. I would never use an IV drug. The first person to put a needle in my arm was, I'm not going to say who it was, but a family member that is very close. and a female. Okay, so think about that. I want to show you these. These are my scars that show me where I've came from. Let's see if you can see them. If you saw me in real life, like, I'm covered in scars. And it shows me every day where God has delivered me from. I literally, when I go to the doctor now, they can't find veins on me to put an IV. They said they would have to put, what is that in my shin?
Oh, the one that goes in my bone.
The one that goes in my bone. If I was ever in, like, needed med flight because I had done so much damage.
They successfully got one in his foot when he had to have. That's when you were in the asthma attack.
Yeah.
And then they got one in his neck one time, but before they could do either of those, they stuck him so many times.
But people need. Okay, there's this one right here. I don't know if you can see this one. Man, let's see if I can get a good angle on it. So this is my tattoo. It's an angel, right? And it was just an outline of. She has 3 boobs now because the doctor, when he did surgery, he cut it and he had to leave it open. And I said, "Can you?" I got an infection under my muscle from doing what I just told you, and it was really bad. I got really sick, and they had to do emergency surgery on me, and it was bad, man. Like, this scar is that long. I mean, it was under my muscle, and I would just literally, like, I was very careless, wasn't I?
Oh, yeah.
I had no respect for myself, so therefore I couldn't respect me. I couldn't love myself, so how was I expected to love anybody else, right? And I said last night in the glare, I prayed for death. I put the worst thing I ever. This is the scariest thing ever. So I put a CO2 pellet gun, and they're no joke. Look, I put it in the roof of my mouth and pulled the trigger. And what scared me more is it didn't scare me. I could carry it out. When you get to that point in your life, please reach out for help. Please, if somebody needs to hear that, please. Because God's got a plan for you. I promise you that. I came from the trenches, rock bottom, and God used me. I never thought I would be able to be a part of the search for Summer. I never acted like I was law enforcement or I was anything special. I always said I don't know why I was blessed with this opportunity. I had not been doing it for years, but God allowed me to be a part of that. And however you think about it, if you're atheist or whatever, blessings happen. And I felt like I had a purpose for once in my life, right? And this gets good. This gets to a meaning for. So I looked at my child. I have a 6-year-old daughter. And when I saw Summer went missing, I saw my child and what I would feel like if that happened to her, okay? And I wanted to help. Despite what people say on here, I don't care about Dawn, Candace, what is it? Money. I give a shit less about any of that. Excuse my language. The biggest reward ever would see that little girl come home safe and sound. And we put so many people put forth. I mean, it was amazing, the people we met through this and the people that were so selfless and they didn't want anything in return. They worked their normal job so that their free time they could come in and help find this child. Oh, no, they're noticeable when you see me in real life. Somebody said they're not that noticeable. Huh?
She saw you in real life.
Oh, Amy Lou did? Yeah, she did. She met. Yeah, I forgot about that. But I'll tell you this: that little girl, Summer. Who cares if we were searched? If we went and looked on a public property, but from what that woman said last night. But we did something. We were proactive, and we got out there on private properties, and every day for how long? Babe, were we out there?
The fall, we were out there.
The fall, every day from when we put our kids on the bus to the time they got off the bus. And I felt like just a little bit farther, just a little bit farther. And I still think that I had hope. I had hope. And I don't know how to explain it. This little girl has gotten lost in this freaking mess that's happening on YouTube. Why is the focus on Don and Candace? Yes, if they're guilty, they need to be held responsible to the fullest degree. But let's find Summer first. Let's not attack the people that are actually out there doing something, and trying to give good information. Not going out there and standing at the bottom of the driveway and saying that there was rats. Show me one picture of rats in that house and poop on the floor and maggots, because I never saw that. I saw very, very minimal roaches up there. And look, some of the things people have passed on to you is not true whatsoever. Don and Candace's house was far from perfect and being clean, but I promise you there was not rats running around and freaking they acted like it was a sea of feces in there. What does that do but embarrass those boys when they have to go to school and people hear this and make fun of them and say, oh, you had poop and maggots in your house and all this? Shame on you. And you know who you are. Shame on you. Those are children. And they have to watch this. And they also have to watch what you say yelling at their mom and dad. Because right now, if they're 100%, if we had evidence that said they did this, by all means, don't let them live it down. But right now, because of what other people have said, show me factual evidence. Yeah. So people are like, oh, the DCS or the CPS reports from Wisconsin. How many years ago were these? How can that be? Well, how can you say these papers are valid now? I know people in here have made mistakes. Did you go back and continue to make those mistakes? Or have you made a mistake in life and then changed in the future? Or will you always be labeled, as whatever you did in the past? Some people like to think so. And I ask that you wear that label for a little while and see how you feel and see that it's possible. So I hope that somebody hears this and they know that, look, you're important. God's got a plan for you. And I didn't know why, the suffering and stuff that I went through. I was like, why, God, why am I here to go through this? That's how I felt. Because when I got out of juvie, my mom kicked me out. But I'll tell you this, that woman last night said, you only have a GED. You want to know why I had a GED? Because when I was in juvie, my credits didn't get transferred over to the high school. So it put me behind. I was locked up so much in juvie multiple times that my credit, it didn't count at my high school. But nobody took me to GED to sign up. Tell them about this, Allison.
So, yeah, he didn't have any way to get into his GED classes. His mom and his stepdad wouldn't take him. Actually, I'm sorry. They took him to the county line. Where he had his GED classes was in a different county. And it's a 30-ish minute drive.
Yeah.
To the place where the GED classes
30,
were.
Yeah, 30 minutes from the county line. I got up every morning.
He got up every morning and they drove him to the county line and then just dropped him off on the side of the road.
But I made it and I got that GED because I was like, I'm gonna have something. I'm gonna have at least the something. So I'm proud of my GED and I made an effort to get it. And I'm sorry that it's the same. It has the equivalency of a high school diploma. And I had to cram all that knowledge, and I actually I actually got a certificate for how quickly I passed my GED. I was proud of that. So I don't know. Look, it might not mean nothing. There are probably people laughing. Oh, you got your GED. Hey, look, I walked a lot of miles, and I washed up in bathroom and gas station bathrooms, so people didn't know what I was going through. And I always managed to make myself look presentable, but people didn't know that I didn't go home a lot of times and didn't have nowhere to stay just because I didn't have to walk that far from the county line to school because people wouldn't take me. So I mean, look, this is my testimony and it's important. And I can tell you this: those boys don't deserve to be talked about because they've been living in an environment that God will use them in their testimony one day. And hopefully Summer, their little sister, comes home safe, or we get answered something so them children don't have to live with that forever. You know what I'm saying? That's important. I don't care who you are. Hate me. Think about that. And tell me that I'm wrong with that. Somebody will have some smart aleck comment, but truth is truth and it hurts sometimes. I don't know. That's not, that's just a little bit. And I told you, I can't even tell my whole testimony because it'd take forever. But I promise you this. So yeah, and white boy saying, "Oh, Cam did 6 days in jail. I did an equivalency of 5 years on my time. Or was it 5 years, or how was it? 5 years altogether that I did incarcerated." He said that I was part of an Aryan circle, whatever. I sent him an email, and I'll show you. I said we're cut from the same cloth, meaning that I felt like that we came from a life out of straight, a bad life. We're cut from the same cloth. We've been through hell. And I said we rep the same thing. Man, we rep that we came out of the damn system and made it. Because he's doing YouTube channel. I tried to be respectful to the guy. And the dude, what does he do? Turn around? Because and say he did me a huge favor. He called CPS in Florida for me and got him off. Bro, I don't live in Florida. They didn't do me no favors down there. And I'm sorry that I don't know what you're trying to do, but look, we said everything we needed to say on Burnt Toast. I don't know where you're going with this. I don't know what you're trying to paint a picture of. But it's ridiculous, man. It's sad. And I'm sorry that I really am. I feel bad for what's going on. I don't understand. But I'm not your enemy. And I don't have nothing against you. Sorry I reached out to you because you were close to Molly and I didn't know who I was dealing with when she was trying to threaten me CPS because I was at the Wells driveway. Look, we were not all there at the same time. Never said that Benny had been there for 2 days or something, right? He was up at the top of the property. When we pulled in, we didn't all pull in at the same time. 423 Chase wasn't there. We were out there already looking at a property from one of the people in our lot. Oh my God. Shenanigans.
Wow.
Hey, look, you didn't have to do that. Thank you. God bless you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story. It's heartbreaking you had to go through. Hey, look. It'll help some. Look, if I can help somebody with my story, just one person, then it was worth it. I don't know. And look, by no means is everything perfect for me now. I struggle with issues still, mental things that I dwell on, and things that I still don't understand yet that I deal with. But look, I'm a lot better than I was yesterday and the day before that and 5 years ago. And that's improvement. Thank you so much for that. God bless you, for real. Peachy said, cry me an effing river. Hey, why don't you come up here and cry with me? You, come on up here, sweetheart. Put your money where your mouth is. Huh? What? Okay, look, hold on one second. I gotta let Allie get out from behind the screen. She's sitting on the bed and she's gotta go get ready. So give me just 1 second. Oh, here, I'll leave the link for old Peachy. Just want to come up here. Old Peachy.
Sounds very peachy.
Here's the link for you so you can come up here. Be brave. There you go. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, Peachy just wants some attention. We'll give him some attention. Kill him with kindness. I remember when we used to sing when the government got entrenched down. Anyway, so let's get into what we're doing. Let me grab something to drink. Hey, this will be content for you. Well, you said I get up and I have to go get something to drink. Reenact that, please. Oscar material. All right. Wow. Okay. Amanda L. Oh, thank you. Look, that means a lot. You don't have to do it. No, but I didn't do that. This was not share my testimony. Look, I don't ask y'all for nothing. You don't got to send us $1, a dime. I don't. That's not what we're doing this for. So don't get it twisted. But we appreciate you. And look, I'll tell you one thing that we can do and we can attest for. What we gain through this, when people need help in our community and they reach out, we help them, and we do try. How many people we've, and I don't want to pat on the back for this, but I want to tell you, this is what we do. What?
Those masks right there.
Okay, there you go.
You know my headband has a bunch of this?
It's in that box. Okay. This month we have paid power bills. We've helped people with gas to go to doctor visits. And we don't even question, because it doesn't matter if somebody asks and they don't use it for the right reasons. Well, you did it out of the goodness of your heart. You know what you did it for. I've tried. I want to make a difference. When I was going through a hard time in my life, so I have very wealthy grandparents. They didn't help me with a single dime when I was going through what I went through. And I want people to know that we love them regardless of where they are in their life. Because someday, that one person that shows you love and treats you like a human being, you will remember, because you might change somebody's life. They might have had plans to hurt themselves or something, and you said, look, you're okay, I believe you. Here, let me help you. You might change somebody's life forever. And they'll remember you, and you'll be an inspiration in their life. Because I have somebody that I look at like that, that was nice to me, changed my life. Look, I'm cool with being, I'll be a nice guy, and I'll sit over here and we'll take the text. Look, me and Allie we've had so many knives in our back through this, and it's okay. It's okay, because we're going to be fair. We're going to be real. And we're not going to let these people labels define us. All right, so this is what I get into. We talked about FBI when they get involved. I'm going to bring you factual information of how they investigate missing children cases. Air Force Mom, thank you so much. So we're going to go over, I'm going to show that. Can y'all answer me who's in charge of the investigation for Summer Wells? Do y'all know what agency is in charge right now? Who's running the show? Let me see. Pitbull Mama. His appointment is in Chicago today. So we got TBI, Lawson, TBI, Pruitt, Hawkins County is running the whole show. The TBI will, what's the word I use? They will assist in the investigation as well as the FBI. But at the end of the day, Lawson is in charge in that agency. I've told you that some things that I didn't agree with. So Adventures with Purpose were told by Hawkins County very early on in her disappearance that Summer was not in the water and they were not needed. I thought I was like, bullcrap. They couldn't. Yeah, they said that she needed a diver as well. But when that Adventures with Purpose, if you know who they are, and people say, oh, they deal in cars, they don't just look for cars. They dive too. They reached out to help Summer and was going to come from the state of Oregon, and that's what they were told. I was like, no, that's not true. We reached out and verified it with Jared from Adventures with Purpose, and I have a live. If you want to see the proof of it, go check it out. That is exactly what they told them. How can you say, if you don't know anything, that little girl is not in the water? You can't. That was my first thing that made me highly upset. We know that you're not looking for any handouts. Jealousy is just another form of evil, and evil never prevails. Thank you so much, for real. Hey, y'all, that means a lot. Y'all, your uplifting comments sometimes make our day here. I promise you that. So yeah, that was what they were told. Need a diver. Called every local agency, TBI, and got permissions because that was the right thing to do. When they called Hawkins County told Need a Diver, you can come and do it, but we didn't ask for your help. Okay, that's part two. I was like, wow, these people are licensed, have the equipment, and are here willing to help you look for this child for free, and did so. Gemma, thank you so much. Y'all don't do that. Look, you're giving these trolls a heyday. So they're going, oh, look at this paper. I didn't ask for it. I appreciate it, but we didn't ask for it. Jealousy runs rampant on YouTube, but look, God blesses people, man, and that's the truth. And I feel very blessed after last night to see the people that rallied around me and another person's chat. Because for a long time, the people wouldn't say, oh, yeah, look, I like Kim and Allie. But look, y'all showed me something last night. It was brave. Y'all are a blessing in my life for sure. So Hawkins County said that, look, somebody needs to do a fundraiser for Hawkins County, LA. I think one of y'all need to use your platform to help them raise money to be able to solve cases. And, okay, look. I have told you guys this. I only spoke to Hawkins County one time through this. They said that they had talked to anybody that was around the wells or had They never spoke to us, never reached out. We were like, and we had spoken, and so we were calling and reporting some. They say they would get back to us. They never did. I gave them some information. I've turned over stuff we found on searches, and we felt like it was never taken seriously. Okay, it's this is the way it was, and that's all I can say about it. And we were out there between June and November when the second search happened, and I can tell you that we were very few and far between. Allie, when's the first time we saw actually a cop out there? Our fourth time when we passed one. We never saw them. Never saw them out there doing anything. And look, I have no reason. What? Doesn't mean they weren't, but I'm not the only one that noticed this. And we really were upset about it. And that's why I wanted to go over how FBI does in CART team on missing children cases. And if you're not oh my gosh, guys, I didn't see all this. Y'all are crazy amazing. So what was I just talking about before I lost my track? I just got down here and saw. I was trying to get caught up on the comments. What was I saying just now? Help me, guys. Forever. Hey, trolls, it's my money. I can spend it anyway. I said that in my kind voice. y'all are awesome. Hash Brown, thank you. Look, y'all don't. I'm gonna turn it off, right? I'll turn them off so y'all can't do because I don't. It's not what we're here for. I love you. Be careful. Huh? I love you. Well,
And I just want to say that I love all you guys, and I appreciate all the prayers from my mama.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got a cough today. But little update on her. They are planning on doing surgery next week to remove the mass, tumor fluid, whatever. So she's in really good hands. The doctors have been amazing. So just keep praying, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you. Okay, love you.
I love you, babe. Be careful. On the sideline says they're in dire need of help. That search and rescue, it became about money, very early on. And when people were reaching out to help, licensed people like Nina Diver and stuff, they weren't accepted, and they didn't need them. They didn't want them there. I can assure you on 100% level, Nina Diver found ponds on private property that nobody had ever seen. Nobody, you can't see them from Google Maps, and we would be out in the middle of like this brush and in between two mountains, and you walk up, there's a pond hidden over there. Those guys went out there and trekked them mountains and got in every single one of those ponds and searched them back and forth. Adventures with Purpose, why turn them away? Let them come down here. EquiSearch now, for them to come, you'll have people that are local or that'll run recon, and it has to be a certain size area before they'll come and do. And there has to be kind of a credible information and a lead they're going on. What? Oh, okay. There you go. What? Hold on. What? I love you. Be careful. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just strange how that went down. And we've talked about the Carly Trent case. They encouraged the locals and the public to get out and search. And the lead guy for TBI said, "Look, if it wasn't for the public, we have to have the public's help." I didn't understand, and I'm not bashing law enforcement by no means. I just don't know if Hawkins County was prepared for something to become this magnitude. All right. Just a little inside information. When we first started this, locals had reached out, multiple ones, and said, be careful what you find out here. Why? And they would say, why do you think TBI and them left so fast? And I think there's an undertone over there. There's something that a lot of people know, but they won't speak out on. And I don't know what it is, but it was just creepy. You know what I mean? Criminals are always advancing and always evolving, and law enforcement has to do the same thing. And if a little small town has gotten comfortable and set in their ways, they're not advancing and evolving with criminals, because their criminals are going to find out, you know, if surveillance has gotten so big in cities and areas and cameras are everywhere, what's the most logical place that they would strike next? Small town country areas that are behind everybody else, right? They're not going to do the same thing once people catch on to what they're doing. Law enforcement, let's be real about it. And I'm not pushing a narrative that it was a stranger abduction. I'm just saying nothing can be ruled out. They have not found the driver of that red truck, so therefore there's somebody out there that knows something, or might know something, might not. But you can't rule out that red truck didn't have something to do with it, because we haven't talked to him. Yes, they want to talk to him as a witness, but witnesses don't run, they come forward. I'm just saying what I feel, right? Stardust, thank you. I didn't forget about you. I was talking and not going through it. God bless you and your family. Hey, thank you. Yeah, y'all go back and watch those lives with those people. You know, Nina Diver, those dudes were awesome, and they kind of got the crap end of the stick. When, you know, I'm just gonna be real with you, they were good-hearted people. Look at their chief of police indicted. I'm aware they're very dirty in those parts, but fundraiser money is watched. I can tell you with the money, so there was some information that was talked about with the reward with Carly Trent, and how it kind of, okay, so when she disappeared, there was these nonprofits that rose up, and they were all local to Hawkins County, that were involved in trying to help and fund a search for her, and she was found within a week. I didn't see not one of those agencies come to the assistance for Summer. And if y'all caught my live, I showed that when we went over that. Where's TBI and FBI? I'm getting ready to get there. I'm getting ready to show that. Sorry, guys, I'm being long-winded, but I sometimes I got to just talk to get my point across. Please tell me I didn't miss anybody. Okay. I've seen some things that are crazy. Mafia control 40 miles east side of I-75 from Florida to Michigan. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Hillary Poindexter. Look, man, we've seen a rise in the bust TBI has had on busting human trafficking. So it's here, and it's real. They got 8 people in 2 days from a website that was trying to solicit minors in Gatlinburg. So for that to happen, there's probably been something like that people have known about, these creeps know about, and it's been happening a while, for a long time. But I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know. We've seen a rise in it, and it's getting. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. I don't think. I think it's very strange that a child, they can say, well, the very real possibility that she wandered off, got lost her. How do they know for a fact from in between the travel from her home to where she allegedly, could have got lost in the mountainous terrain. How can you say for a fact nothing happened in between there? Because you got footprints 3/4 of a mile apart from each other. Take it for what it is. I promise you, those footprints existed, and they cast them, and they were taken very, very seriously. And now, and Bullhorn Betty over there said that Leslie Earhart told JLR that the footprints were not real. Well, I'm going to show you something from Leslie Earhart where she says we don't discuss anything with anybody about the case. So take that for what it is. Don't throw out and try to disprove people just because you don't like them. Because any bit of evidence, let's be hopeful that those are her footprints and they lead, that they are 100% hers and where it was. And they said they were found on the 19th, and the officer said it had to be within the timeline. She disappeared because of the scent. Let's pray that is something, and that lead. Why would you want to disprove that when it's all we got? Because you want the narrative to be, no, they did it. I know because they did it this way, that way. Look, that's your opinion, and there's no basis to back it up. And we showed that last night. I asked her, the guest on the channel, I said, what facts do you have to back up your theory? And she said all these things, and I asked her, I said, can you prove that? No. Look, we all have opinions. Yes, we see a decline in health. We see her getting skinnier. We don't know who was there. We know that she had a friend there. That we have talked about that. The picture was taken of her and her friend very close to the time that Summer disappeared. So people were up there. Let's get a hold of Summer's friend's mother, Marlena, and let's get a statement from what she witnessed up there. I think that would be valid. We've reached out. She doesn't talk, and that's okay. But hearsay is hearsay. Somebody on the West Coast says they only fed them kids frozen pizzas. That has become what people throw around as fact. Please God, tell me how you know that. Were you in the freezer? Do you see it? Because I mean,
Allison Hillman.
Hello? Hello? Hold on. Hey guys, I gotta look up a phone number for the eye physician real quick. Give me just a sec. I apologize, guys. I had to look her Allison's data is not working on her phone, and that's important for my son's eye appointment. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know where I was, and I apologize for that. It's a lot of information. Let's pull this up real quick. We'll go over this. Okay. I appreciate y'all so much, for real. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are patient. So this is from FBI News. Investigating child abductions. FBI card team plays a vital role. So I wanted to show you this. Can y'all see it? No sound. Yes, there's sound. Come on now. Is there no sound for real? Someone's name was mentioned on the phone. Whose phone? Phil McNutt. Whose phone? Yeah, look, if they ate frozen pieces, they act like that's the only thing they fed those kids. I saw Candace cook chili beans, fajitas. I witnessed this, and she cooked out of her freezer. Oh my god, I don't know, it's insane. Candace, and look, y'all, these people, y'all are giving these people too much credit, saying that they're masterminds. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. Spend a little one-on-one time. There's people that can play dumb, and then there's things that you can't. I don't know how to explain that. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying. I don't know. You go up there. This is why people need to really see this area for what it is. There was, so what, 7 or 9 times law enforcement came up there and brought the dogs, cadaver dogs, every time, and scent dogs. Go look at TBI statements. Dogs were used at every investigation. It's out there. You can see it. Just Google it. But those dogs, look, a broken clock is right 2 times a day. And people are saying, oh, they had the crappiest dogs. There was 60 search agents, 60 out of all the 100 and I don't know the exact number. Out of the 100 and something search agents, there were 60 search dog teams that showed up on the June 15th and for the the weeks leading up to the first initial search. So I'm just saying, those dogs would have hit on something. They hit on a footprint, a single footprint of scent after search and rescue had trekked all over an area. And dogs, look, a lot of search and rescue. I learned this. Dave Rader doesn't believe in search dogs. He doesn't think that they're the greatest thing. He said he's never seen one really accurately. So you have people that lead search and rescue that don't really give dogs, they don't think that they're very good. And then some people swear by them. This is what I didn't know that. But yeah, she also makes some spaghetti. Just it's true. Goulash. Okay, let me see here. Didn't y'all sign an agreement to not speak to not speak on the Wells family? Linda H. No, I'm not. Look, I have many videos explaining what that was. It wasn't even. It was a property release form that they called an NDA, and honestly, nobody out here would know about it if I didn't speak out on it. It was just to protect the people and renovations and things that were currently going on that property. I'm not getting into that again. I'm just going to tell you that if lawyers would have been involved with the Wells from the very get-go, this case would not be like this, because there would be NDAs in place for search and rescue and teams like that they cannot speak about it because it hurts the integrity of a case if it goes to court. But now Tim Mullen was trying to control the flow of information, and I felt like that's what that was for. I've spoke very freely on how me and Tim Mullen got along, and I've spoke very. I've been very clear that I dislike the man, and I get along with almost everybody. For me to say that, and I try to see the good in everybody. When I shook that man's hand, I got a very bad vibe. I don't know how to explain that. Just take it for what it is. I'm just telling you, from the get-go, I didn't have a good feeling. Allie's name was said out loud when she called Allison. Oh, look, it's okay. I mean, people dox us all the time, and it's sad because they think they're doing something. Excuse me, ma'am, and you know who you are. What is the right way to act when something horrific happens to you? Please explain. Suzette, who are you referring to? It's a good question. That's a good question. Are you? Because the kids love what Dawn prefers. I don't know. Allie said that she had spent $300 on groceries for the Wells and stuff. I'm just going to say this. Now, when she was staying up there with her kids, I'm sure she did buy groceries for everybody. We've seen Allie say a lot of things that, not my Allie, not my wife, H's mom, Allie. She has been, I've seen her lie about a lot of stuff, and we've called it out. She said she wasn't at the parade when those things were yelled at Candace when she was walking the banner. Candace said 3 different stories, but then the interview with Bullhorn Betty, she said, we about hit Candace with the car because we were set. You have to go listen to it. I put a clip in my community section. They contradict themselves over and over, and I don't know what their mission was. I can tell you this. Candace said very early on that only 2 people that I've ever heard her really point the finger at. One was Allie's mom, and she said, I can't help to think that Summer is locked in, what's Allie's mom's name? In her basement. I can't think of a brain fart. Sorry. Yeah, Linda, because she was staying there. That's right. What is Allie's mom's name? Sherry. Thank you, guys. Sherry. I can't help to think that Summer is locked in Sherry's basement. That is one of the first things Candace said, and she pointed the finger at. Do you know who the other person was? If people are paying attention, who was the other person that she said something about? Do y'all know? And listen, that's not. Law enforcement said that those prints and the scent had to be from the time she went missing, from the 15th to the 19th. They found those on that property on the 19th of June. Dudley, thank you, Ray Bird. You got it. She said, I do not like the way he looks at Summer. And I can tell you right now, from people that went and interviewed, that was running an investigation, that talked to Dudley, out of all the people I'd heard, so Dudley had went to the boss of Tucker Drywall and was crying, said, I got too close to that family. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? And I'll stand behind that, because the person was where I heard that was very credible. And just because Dudley had an alibi and I'm sorry, something wasn't right. You don't cry and say you got too close to that family. What's that mean? What's that mean? That was weird. These are the things that were looked over. Took him 8 months to come out, and when they went and paid him for that interview. And I can tell you right now, about 2% of that interview and the things he said was accurate. There was so much mix matching, and I encourage you to go research it yourself and listen to what he's saying. He literally turned around things that Dawn said and said he did it. He was the best worker there. He could outwork Dawn. Why is Dawn the boss then? And why did you have a problem keeping jobs, Dudley? That's another time that we'll go over that. The problem is all these people are suspect, but look, nobody's been cleared though. And we hear people run around saying, so if Dudley was somebody close, and they put put him as, and they label him a suspect, and nobody's been cleared, he has to stand behind his first initial statement to law enforcement. So anything he said, he has to keep that narrative. Now, could his wife say, and somebody else say, yeah, Dudley was home. He wasn't out anywhere. I saw him. He was here, like that. That's an example. That's an alibi, right? That's your alibi. So you have somebody backing you up, unless law enforcement can prove otherwise. They got you on camera at a store when you said you're here. But right now they got an alibi, right? I'll tell you somebody who doesn't. So Don Sherfy Sr. was questioned by law enforcement, right? He says it on a Prairie Gardens interview with him. He was questioned. Law enforcement said early on, you would be hard pressed to find somebody we ain't talked to. Out of Don Sherfy Sr.'s mouth, he said, they never asked my son a question. He's got the same name as me. He ain't hard to find. They know he didn't do anything. You're telling me 8 months in, this guy with charges, he's not been found guilty. He has active charges for images of minors. Over 1,000 images. And you tell me they didn't question him? And he says, oh, he ain't been out there to be. He was out there early, late 2019. What do you say? Late 2020, early 2021. What's early 2021? Was that January? Was it June? What was it? That man should have been questioned early on. And I'm telling you right there, when I heard that, my mouth dropped. And I pray to God, because we don't know what law enforcement, I pray they went out there and questioned him. Because not only do you have him with those charges, Don Sherfy Sr.'s brother is best friends with Frank Light. Don Sherfy Jr., Frank Light have the same charges. The ex-cop from Sullivan County, Haas, same exact charges of images. These people are all tied to Ben Hill. What's going on? How can that be overlooked? I'm just questioning. Is that fair? How can that be overlooked? Is it fair to say that doesn't mean anything? You didn't question Sherfy Jr. Look, that's a valid question. It is what it is. Y'all, this chat is going by so fast. I should have slowed it down. Don said saw a yellow car speeding away when they exactly. Look, do we know what does Dudley drive? Y'all know from the picture? The yellow SUV that's parked in the back when Summer is dancing out in the rain. I'm just saying, look, we got to take those things into account. All right. Okay, so we're going to go over this. Kenny said 2 days ago, Grandis spoke to TBI on her own. Did you hear that? I did not hear that. Grandis is not in the state of Tennessee. So I don't know if as of Sunday, she had fed the dogs up to Sunday last week. So she's not, she got her vehicle fixed and went to family, I think. So I don't know. That's probably not accurate. And where did that come from? But it wasn't a yellow like sports car. Okay, so when we've drove out, and this I can say something about this. There's a yellow Nissan 350Z that lives on that road. We've passed it multiple times out there, so that possibly could be that car. I noticed that very early on too. Who's looking after the pets? Look, did y'all see the video? This last video when Bullhorn Betty went out to the property. Did you see the dog that came down with his shiny coat, very healthy? And people are saying those dogs are being mistreated. I'm sorry, But they're right there contradicted what she was saying in her own video, and people blindly follow. There is people that are close to those dogs are being fed. We saw the narrative that was being pushed. I don't care what they get arrested for, but we want her arrested for something. That's what she said. That's not fair. That's not justice. That's not how it works. I give props to Detective Pruitt. He said, unfortunately, you have to commit a crime before you're arrested. That's what he said. And she wasn't talking about the dogs. She said, I just want them to be arrested for something. That speaks volumes. Go listen to it. Hear it for yourself. We'll do it here in just a minute and listen to it. I pray that she will come to know God. Hey, look. Realification. Thank you so much. You guys are freaking awesome. Like, y'all are selfless, and y'all stop it. Thank you so much. For real. I know you're behind, and so when you get to this part, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just saying, listen to what's being said. You can hear these officers and people talking. I'm proud to say my channel wasn't listed by the Humane Society as somebody starting problems, and there was a few of them. And my channel and me, I haven't been listed. People have made tried to imply and put accusations that law enforcement was sent talking about us. I didn't call in and waste their time with crazy theories and things. I went out there, and they know we tried to make an effort, and I never said I was working with them. I never even, we were just trying to help. We were chaperoned by the PIs who taught us, look, man, I don't have to explain myself. I know where I stand. And I know what I did. And I'm happy. I'm proud. I'll stand on this side. God bless. Okay, let's watch. I'm going to show this right here. Okay, so it's, again, investigating child. I'm on another screen, so I can't see the chat at all, guys, so bear with me. Investigating child abductions. FBI card team plays a vital role. When a child goes missing, it impacts the whole community. And while local law enforcement investigators from our regional FBI offices respond and begin looking into the disappearance, the Bureau has an additional investigative asset that can be called upon for these time-sensitive cases. Our National Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Card team, which works to recover victims as quickly as possible and helps apprehend those responsible for taking them. The card team, created in 2006, has been deployed more than 100 times for approximately 108 victims, both domestically and when requested abroad. Numerous children have been located and safely returned to their loved ones. Tragically, the remains of victims have also been found. Those can at least provide some sort of closure for their families. That's another point which we were trying to tell. Search and rescue does not, they do not like the parents to be part of the search. One, if they are guilty, they can hurt the evidence or mislead people. Two, if they're not, they don't want the parent to see the last images of their child in that situation. Don't believe me? Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. That's a big thing with search and rescue. I can't help it. You can be angry at me, but that's true. Now, to put myself in that situation, if they told me I couldn't be a part of the search, I would still be out searching somewhere, because that's the part of parent. Now, I do believe that Don and Candace could have done more, but last night I can also tell you that cameras weren't on them 24/7, and I know that Don had went to many houses knocking on doors. I mean, I'm just going to tell it how it is. He did do that. Candace was out hanging up flyers and stuff. People were flipping cigarettes at Don at the gas station when he was pumping gas. People were yelling stuff at Candace. This is early on. They didn't even have a chance. Now, I'm telling you, they were public enemy number one, and I watched it unfold. People were so at their appearances, they were judged right out the book. Okay, we've learned a lot, but who are we to do that? Let's show a little bit of compassion. Put yourself, if that was your first moments, just say that it comes out and it is proven without a shadow of doubt that they had nothing to do with it. I'm okay because I don't have to apologize. I know that I tried to treat people humanely. I know that there's a lot they won't say, and they probably won't even admit they were wrong. But that's just awful. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Those things were not the things they were trying to do at the beginning. You didn't hear people talking about that. Oh, the family did this, the family did that. But you sure as hell heard if they did something, if they farted in the wrong place, it was talked about, right? I'm just trying to be real. Okay. All right, the 60 or so agents who make up the card team are stationed in the field offices around the country. Each is assigned to one or 5 regional teams that cover the Northeast, Southeast, North Central, South Central, and Western United States, and are deployed at the request of a field office. Deployment size depends on the case and the particular needs of local responders. Card team investigators are seasoned veterans of crimes against children cases, especially child abductions, and have received extensive training. Did you hear what they said? Especially child abductions. That's one of theirs. So they were called in for a reason. And let's get it straight. They never ruled it out. They just said they found no evidence of it. Does that mean it didn't happen? Well, a perfect abduction, what evidence are you going to have? I mean, if it's the right place, right time, and somebody just grabs a child and puts them in a vehicle and drives off, what evidence do you have? I'm just saying. All right. I still can't see the chat, guys, because I'm over on this other reading this, so bear with me. Okay, especially child abductions, and have received extensive training. While some local law enforcement agencies may only work 1 or 2 child abduction cases a year, card team agents work these kind of cases all the time, keeping their unique skills set and honed. They often deploy to the abduction site with FBI behavioral analysis experts and technical specialists in tow. Card team agents also work closely with National Center for the Analysis of Violent Crime Coordinators, members of the regional FBI led Child Exploitation Task Force, and representatives from our Violent Crimes Against Children section at FBI headquarters. What exactly does the card team bring to the table? In addition to being on the scene within an hour or two to augment local resources, these agents can quickly establish on-site command posts to centralize investigative efforts. They also help map registered S offenders in the area, handle national and international leads. So Sharfie Jr. slipped under the radar because he's not convicted yet. He lived at the time where they raided him. He was in Sullivan County, staying at his mom's house. So that's a little tidbit of information. People tried to argue that he was on an ankle monitor. No, he is not. He got out on a low bond, and he is able to travel in between counties. When you're on an ankle monitor, you go to work and you're at your house, or you're going back to jail. That's another story. I'm not getting into that. So what exactly does the card team bring to the table? Let me click over here and check out what y'all are saying, dude. I can't read it right here. Maybe if I zoom it up, I can stay over here. Alicia, what happened? Hey, guys. Hey, Diana Warren, thank you. I'm sorry I didn't see it. You know Sharfie Jr. changed truck tags to Kentucky. Do you know what color truck he drives? Do you know what color truck his dad drives? Do you know what color truck his little brother drives? They're red trucks. And this is the crazy thing. Anybody you look up in this case either has owned or owned a Toyota Tacoma. That's like the most favored truck in the South because they run forever. The boys should not be spoken of. We're not speaking about the boys, and I actually just spoke out about how shame on people that say the things about them and how they live and are claiming that they have been SO or SA'd in the home by the. There's no evidence of that. I'm sorry. It is what it is. There's no evidence of that. And there has been people that have created a narrative because I'm sorry, but children go sleep in their parents' bed because they feel safe when they're scared when they're little. And when your child comes in and crawls in the bed, you tell them to get out. No, you let that's your child. If they want to snuggle up in between you and they sleep there, what's the big deal about that? Why does it have to initially be placed that was something sexual? Because that was speculation, and nothing was ever said except that her leg was under Don when he got up. That's not fair. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Don might have done things in his past, but that does not mean he did it there to that child or to them boys. And there is no proof to back that up. And that's not fair. Those boys should not have to live under that label and go to school and have people look at them like there's something wrong with them or that they are beneath them in some way. That's not right. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I've lived with having been SA'd, and I'm telling you, I felt like what that man did to me. I felt like your first thoughts are when that happens to you as a boy is that I don't want to know how to say this without, and I don't mean it offensively. You question who you are. You're like, does that make me gay? Does that make me that's very hard, and I'm being very real with people right now. And if those people don't feel like I'm putting off the right vibe for it, but I'm telling you stuff that most men would never tell you that go through this. So don't put that on them boys on a public platform that people are watching all the time that they have access to watch. Just saying. Look, I get pissed off about that. Jenny Rose, how did you get that we are defending a predator? How did you get that out of everything I said? That is not defending him. I'm saying there is no proof to back up those claims. That is total speculation at this point in time. And when I get over and tell you what was told to us by the parents and why the boys were taken, take it for what you will, but a lot of people will not believe it. But I promise you that this would be the stupidest lie for somebody to say. And I want to finish the card. We're finished reading this and we're going to talk about it. Selective hearing. Let me just see. We're going to say what the card team brings to the table real quick, and I'm going to tell you what was told. Okay, Bureau's technical assets, which play an increasingly larger role in investigative where every minute counts. Oh yeah, this is important. I slipped by that. They also help map registered SOs, and they handle national and international investigative protocols from the FBI child abduction response. Large role. Okay. But the true measure of the card team's impact is how often these kids are found safe. Here are a few recent examples where that's happened. A newborn kidnapped from his Wisconsin home in February 2014 was found by law enforcement the following day alive in a plastic storage crate outside a gas station in Iowa. The alleged kidnapper had been charged more In August 2013, a San Diego County teenager abducted by a family friend was located and rescued by law enforcement a week later in the Idaho wilderness. Her kidnapper, killed during the rescue, was believed to have been responsible for the deaths of her mother and 8-year-old brother. More, a 6-year-old girl abducted from the Mississippi school in 2013 was released in the following day. The mastermind of the kidnapping received a 25-year prison term, with 5 other co-conspirators have also been sentenced. While the FBI necessarily focuses on terrorism and other national security issues and major criminal threats, we will always place a premium on the safety and well-being of our nation's children. So you see the expertise right there, and you're going to tell me Don and Candace did a perfect crime and outsmarted those people. Stand up and tell me if you truly believe that. Because if you put that woman said that her metabolism won't let her lie and that fiber optics gave her good opportunity. Now you tell me that they executed the perfect crime and were capable of it. I'm not saying they're innocent of everything, and I'm not saying that they might not have knowledge of something, but I will tell you that I just don't see it. I do not see the ability to outsmart the feds, 160 search agencies without a trace of nothing. Sorry, it is what it is. Now, are they responsible for something else, to maybe be involved with somebody else doing something? Very likely, because Candace shuts down and says she feels like she's interrogated all the time. I'm sorry, but you should feel like that. People are going to ask questions. Your child's missing. It is what it is. You people make YouTube a horrible place to be. I'm not accusing anyone, but I'm not discounting the possibility either. Okay. What did we do? What did we make YouTube a horrible place by? For not letting people freely run with rumors and false accusations? Accident and cover up. So they were able to hide scents on clothes, car seats. Cadaver dogs pick up on the smell of the chemical that's released when somebody passes away. I think it's up to 18 seconds after that person passes away. They can pick up on the scent. We covered that in a live stream. Did you know that? I'm sorry. I know. I was there in real time. I saw how this property was searched. How many times they came back and thoroughly went through it. I don't know. It's my opinion. I don't think that... Shit. Camera died. Bear with me. Okay. That's a beautiful picture right there. All right, there we go. Let me fix this. Right? I feel like I'm going to lower my seat now. Beep. Okay, so my good camera died. Apologize for that. Hey, look, I'm I'm sorry. Saying they... Okay, Brandy, what did you say I said? All right, now, if you're going to say I said something, let's be accurate. But what did you say? Seriously, come on. Just like Cam isn't saying the Wills are guilty of SA or behind Summer's disappearance, he also not saying they aren't. Okay, I get what you're saying. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not saying either way. We don't know. There's not evidence that backs it. Show me tangible evidence of it. Show me tangible evidence of it. We know that the kids fought with each other and that Summer was rougher and, she didn't let them boys pick on her. They wrestle, they fight, they play fight. That. How can you say that bruises didn't come from that? Now, I'm not saying that they didn't come from the parents, but there's no proof either way. So this is what I'm going to tell you. So Don went on one, when Summer went missing, Don went on one of his binges. Candace, at the beginning, was on I guess, I Hate Dawn campaign. She called CPS and said that he was on a binge and they needed to come test him. Well, when they came, they tested her too. And they both failed because her plan backfired. Now, you're going to tell me, now I haven't shared this, but tell me somebody's going to lie about that. There's your mastermind right there. They tested both of them and they both failed. It wasn't drinking. That was that too. But they failed. And so there was that claims that the house, now I'm not saying that the living conditions were perfect, but they take your children, DCS is under the spotlight, high profile case. They have to act. Those parents failed a urine screen, they're yanking them kids out that house. I'm just saying, I don't know why I'm talking to that camera because it's right here. My bad, y'all. I forgot it done. But okay, take it or leave it. I'm telling you what I was told. Now tell me somebody's gonna lie on themselves for making that in Candace. That came from Candace's mouth. There it is. I tell you what I know. That's all. I'm not saying it's fact, but I'm saying that's a. I believe that. I believe that. So there it is, guys. That's the first time I've talked about that, and some people might have heard it. But I mean, you tried to literally call him, and I told you that Dawn is the kind that he's not going down by himself. She's gonna do it too. He's gonna be like, you're doing some of this too, so you're failing too. We've heard that for a long, long time. Cam, do the police think her body was moved? So I don't know what their personal thoughts are. What I do know is, so I got to work with people that were part of EquiSearch first to deploy. I was actually working really close with him, and we got to hear kind of what was being discussed on first initial search. We had no idea where the second search was going to be in November. We had a search plan. You can go watch. It's on record. We had a search plan for the weekend after November 30th. And I'm telling you, law enforcement was on top of the same area we were going to. And there was a reason for it. And that's how I know that they took them footprints very seriously. The drone tent was set up basically right in the field where the first set was located. From law enforcement's drone tent, by the way. So I felt, and I spoke on this on the live. That really gave us assurance that, hey, we're on the right track. We're thinking the right way. I showed that, but we're just a bunch of POSs that don't do nothing right. But I'll tell you, hey, look, I felt so validated that day to see that plane was circling. They were on top. I was like, those footprints, I feel like that is one of the only things, that's one of the only tangible things besides the scent trail that led to the Bauman's driveway. And you can hear us talk about that bus trail that cuts off from the driveway. I don't believe it was the dog trail that was portrayed. I believe that those dogs hit on that bus trail and went down the driveway because it ended where the gravel and the blacktop met. You can hear Sheriff Lawson say that out of his mouth. Dave Rader also confirmed those footprints, and he came in to town for the first time, first initial search, when he said search and rescue had a very promising lead, and they were executing, giving everything they got, helicopters, everything. They flew till 4 o'clock in the morning on, what day was it? 19th, so 4 o'clock in the morning on the 20th, and they thought, they were sure they were going to find her, and they found nothing. You can hear him on record talk about that. So, okay, so we'll talk about the timeline. I got some questions. What happened to the camera that was not wrote down, that was taken? Yo, Bubs, are you in here? That was so good when we talked last night. What happened to that camera? Why can't it be accounted for? I'm going to try to find that. Was it pawned? We're going to look into that because I feel like, I don't know. Yo, Bubs, that was amazing. And I had never thought about that. There you are. There you are. Did the cadaver dog check all the work vehicles and the equipment? Lie detector tests? Very strange child discovered missing shortly after them loading up and leaving was the 15th. So what we know about the tree workers? One guy left early that day. 2 guys were there when Summer went missing that were still working on the property. Now, they had worked that property for 2 weeks and seen those children. And what we were told, and I'm just telling you hearsay on this, there were people that felt like that they weren't questioned good enough, the tree companies. And I don't know what tests were run on them, on their vehicles or not, but I don't know if cadaver dogs were on them, but I know the personal vehicles of the family they were. It's not far-fetched to think that tree companies usually don't do background checks on people. They'll hire about anybody. I'm a convicted felon. I got a job with a tree company at one time, and they didn't even check my background. They're like, you're hired. So anybody could have been out there working. I reached out to the tree companies to try to get a record of who was working, and I never got a call back. I tried, but again, they don't have to answer to me, a YouTuber with a record. They're like, dude, I don't have to tell you nothing. That's suspicious, but still, again, I guess that's their prerogative, not to put out their employees' names. It's just the way it is. Issue is that you can't take an opinion and make it fact. That's why, Brandy, thank you so much. You caught on to what I was trying to prove last night. We did it last night. We proved that. Cadaver dogs on property 7 times, 7 and 9 times. Yeah, I'd actually heard Candace say 9 times. I was always told 7. So if it was 9 times they were on that property, then the more searches, the better. That's the more times that thoroughly went through. And people still question if this was searched on the property, if that was. So you just heard what I read from the card team. These people are seasoned pros, and their specialty is abduction. It's like this child walked and vanished in the thin air. But then we have the footprints. Casts were made of those footprints. On the first property, the guy who posted on YouTube or on Facebook, so he said a lot. I've shown those screenshots that he had posted, on the discussion groups talking about it, and he said a lot. Do you know what the second property was, where those prints were located? I'll tell you this: it's the property that Don Sherfy Sr. stays at. Mary Sexton. That's where the other set of prints were located. It's telling you real deal. But who am I? I don't know nothing. But I look, if y'all follow me, I assure you that where I found that campsite up on that hill, everything was close together. And that's why I didn't understand why it wasn't taken seriously by a few people. I'm not getting into that. Yeah, it hurts my heart for this child. It does. Patty Wack said, yeah, I agree. Okay, so I read all of that about them, the FBI jurisdiction and child kidnappers in the public eye, and even in some state and local law enforcement circles, there are common misconceptions about where the FBI can get involved in child kidnappings. Please listen to the verbiage in this. That there has to be evidence a victim has been taken across state lines, or that a ransom demand has to be made, or that a 24-hour must pass. All are false. Whether the case ends up being investigated and prosecuted at a local level or at the federal level, the Bureau will always leverage our investigative resources and technical assets to work hand in hand with state and local law enforcement agencies on cases involving the mysterious disappearance of a child. Our role is to help investigate the disappearance, recover the child, and apprehend the person or persons responsible. And that role begins as soon as we are notified. In their own words, CAR team members reflect. Members of CAR teams, seasoned investigators with experience in crimes against children cases that are often multiple jurisdictions and multi-agency, have purposely chosen this line of work because they care deeply about the welfare of all children. Here are personal reflections from 4 particular CAR team agents and on what they do and why they do it. What made you want to become a CAR team member? There's nothing more important than protecting our children. Special Agent, New Orleans. I had just finished working 2 child abductions. The cases were physically and mentally exhausting, but the nature and innocence of the victims was such that I wanted to help in future cases as well. Special Agent, Jacksonville. After inheriting a high-profile cold case involving a missing 6-year-old girl, I learned how important initial documentation is to someone coming in many years later with only the case file for review. I hoped that the unique perspective could add a layer of experience to an already very experienced group of agents on the CAR team. Really listen to that, what he said. So documentation is to someone coming in many years later with only case file for review. I hope that this unique perspective could add a layer of experience to an already very experienced group of agents. These people think out of the box. They don't dismiss anything, and they only dismiss it when they totally can rule it out. That's admirable. And I'm sorry to say that not local and state agencies follow these same kind of standards, I can assure you. The team was everything I've trained for in my career. It was a chance to be involved in something good, and I wanted to be a part of it. Okay, so what is this? It says resources. I'm going to click on it. Oh, they have podcasts. Hey, that's cool, man. We might check this out. So they have podcasts about the Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team. I will put this link in the description as soon as we get done. Look, y'all check this out. I had never seen this. I feel like we read some and found out some good info. That's pretty crazy. Let's see what it said. Hey, look, I know. I know that you guys. I feel like with Candace and her shutting down on every Chris, there has to be something. Is it something that they feel like that they could be involved? Like, I wonder. You think like in Candace's mind, what if she's just not saying? What if it's somebody that she saw on the property or somebody that it was I don't know. Like, I feel like it's somebody that's not been mentioned or somebody. I don't know. I know that I didn't know about Marlena being up there till late in the investigation, and some people did know that. I didn't know that. I didn't even know about this other child that was hanging out up there for late in. So who else could have been up there? Well, we had Fred Hill say that there was this other mysterious Andy boy, which was in the pool that was up there. Another thing, I never saw a slip and slide or that panda pool on that property. Where did that go? There's something else. Now, I tried to keep I paid attention there. I looked for that. I never saw that thing, and that was supposedly there days earlier. Where'd they go? But Candace saying she'll never be found. Look, when I asked her about the third search, she said, I don't know, I don't care, because they ain't gonna find her. My heart sank, and I didn't know how to take that. Because she was making fun of me because I was looking up the map, and I said, do you know where this picture was taken of where the third search? Because I wanted to know where they were and where that third search, that small team. I was like, well, I called her. I said, can you tell me where this is? This looks familiar. She made fun of me, and then at the end of it, she said, you're wasting all your time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care. And I was like, wow, is that just because you've lost hope, or what else? Is there something else? I don't know. After being part of the surgeon talking to the family, I am no closer to understanding Candace Wells than anybody else out there. She's a hard person to understand. But I'll tell you, she opened up to me one time about her when she was a child. And that I felt like she was being real with me about some things that were tragic to her. That's one time that I felt like she was being upfront and honest with me. I don't know. There's just other times that it was strange. If it turns out that Candace and Don are innocent, I want to know how many people are going to apologize. Look, it's a good question, and I can assure you it's probably not going to be many. That's a shame, too. So sorry for your loss. I'm a angel mom too, and I lost. Hey, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sorry for your loss too, Mountain Girl. Yeah, okay, yeah, Raising Grace. Remember the statement that Don made early on that he said he told the TBI that he would go undercover in these child trafficking rings? That always struck me as weird. I'm like, Don, first of all, you're the father of a missing child, high profile case. You're not going to sneak in the middle like be an undercover agent for the TBI. That was always a weird statement that he said. And I don't know if it was, I don't know. I did not think that. Race Girl 8803. Don and Candace both said what? Said what? Hey, look, I don't know. I think that, did y'all find that card team information I read? Did you find that informative? Let me know, because I don't know if y'all see. Was that pretty informative to y'all? Who's been under a lot of stress making waves? Me? I've actually been very happy, and I'm actually getting back to my normal self, actually, to be honest with you. We've all been under a lot of stress. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to share here. This is good. I hadn't seen this, but I think it's got a lot of important stuff in it. Okay, and this is by the Sun, the U.S. Sun. It says 7 chilling details in case of missing. Hold on, let me close this. Missing Summer Wells, from 5-year-old shaved hair to brother's removal from home. Okay, so yeah, I found this, and we'll see. Let me see what people are saying over here. Cam, you look tired. I am tired. Look, people accuse me too. At nighttime's the only time that I have quiet time, because I am a stay-at-home dad, and that's the time that's personal time, so that I use that to be on YouTube. But then I also have to go to sleep because I have to get up early in the morning, get the kids ready for school every day. So I've been accused of everything, and look, if I get lay down for a couple hours and get back up, I got to do what I got to do, because I refuse to be a bad father. I really strive to be good, because there was a time period that I wasn't good, and I was very selfish person with my addiction at that time. And I promised my children that they wouldn't, they were very little. And I'll tell you this, I feel like God erased a big part of those memories from them, because I asked them after I got clean, and I said, do you remember how Daddy, if they had, like, they did not know. And my kids, fortunately, were very young. But I promised them that they would never go through that again. And so far, I've held true to my promise. And I love my kids, and I want them to have a better life and have better upbringing than I had. It is what it is. People have your opinion. I'm sure somebody's going to say something negative about that. But again, that right there, that's speculation. These people don't know me. You've never been to my house. You know nothing about me. They know my record because I said it first, and speculation. So look, it happens to me. Imagine what's going on in this high profile case. How many lies are out there? Look, I don't care, man. Let them say if they have their opinion. It's okay. I didn't say anybody accused me of anything. Is my internet really bad or something right now? Somebody said I've looked. Yes, they did. They also put a FLIR camera up on a high cell phone tower weeks later to look at the woods. A FLIR, forward-looking infrared. You can find the where did I find that? Where they talked about that? I always question. I said, so if a child is lost in the wilderness, the very real possibility that it's from TBI's mouth that she got lost in her. So if a child can only make it up to 3 days without, passing from exposure to the elements, without food and water, what are you looking for in the woods weeks later? And that's the thing too, just because they say there's no evidence, they're still not investigating it. So they get a tip or they feel something, they don't have to tell everybody and the public, but they might be looking into that. And then they might find evidence of it. So, you got to be really careful and listen to their verbiage of it. Detective Pruitt kind of, clarified that a lot more. There's a lag with mouth movement. It looks fine on my end. Give me a second, I'll refresh it. Here we go. Well, I'll believe it when I see it. There's people that said arrests are coming soon and swore by it. We haven't seen it yet. Is my choppy mouth movement? Because what am I doing wrong today? What is that? What's going on? Seems stuck on camera, dude. Got 50. Is she still mad at me? Oh, Lord. Holly, look, she's going to go. What is that? Oh, that's my Alexa. Alexa, what is true crime?
According to Wikipedia, true crime is a nonfiction literary, podcast, and film genre in which the author examines an actual crime and details the actions of real people associated with and affected by criminal events. The crimes most commonly include murder, about 40% focus on tales of serial killers. True crime comes in many forms, such as books, films, podcasts, and television shows. By the way, when you see the yellow light ring on your device, it means you have a notification or message. Just say,
Alexa, stop. Alexa, who is Summer Wells?
According to Wikipedia, Summer Marjani Walker is an American
Alexa, who is Summer Wells?
According to Wikipedia, Summer Marjani Walker is an American
Alexa, stop. Stop. I don't know if it's my country accent or what, but then Alexa hates me for real. It never answers my questions. I just set off all their Alexas. Sorry, guys. Alexa, will you marry me?
I think that would somehow violate the laws of robotics.
Look, I used to ask that thing. I was sitting there for hours and asked that thing stupid questions. That's funny. All right, so let me finish. Let me pull the sun back up here, the thing I was going over. So this speaks a lot, and then we're going to be done. I can't believe I've been on here for 2 hours, but I feel like it's been a good live. I do. Look, man, I love you guys to death. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are, I don't know. Y'all have been a blessing in my life for real. Every one of y'all. Your uplifting comments, everything. It really is helpful. You know who you are. You guys have been really supportive. I see people in other chats, and I see who the real people are and who the ones that talk behind people's back and stuff. So I know who you guys are that are real ride or die people, and that's awesome. This really is awesome, for real. Okay. All right, so where is Summer? 7 chilling details in case of missing Summer Wells, from 5-year-old shaved hair to brother's removal from home. Let me see if I can read this from the other screen. So this is the first picture TBI put out when Summer went missing, and then they retracted it and gave pictures of her with her head shaved. So that's one thing to be aware of. I always thought that was kind of crazy. Let's see here. Did I miss anything you guys were saying? Your legs is just as ignorant as mine. Mine's mine's pretty stupid. It really is. I could tell y'all some skills that are hilarious, but y'all would think that I have like the sense of humor of a 10-year-old boy. Yeah, seriously, I would embarrass myself. That thing has programs that will encourage you to take a dump every day. Whatever that is for, I will never know. But she tells you did a good job. Oh my gosh. I was like, who really needs this? This machine will cheer you on while you go do a number 2. It's pretty crazy. So, okay. Moving on. Summer has been in the front yard planting flowers with her mother and grandmother. At the time, her father, Donald, previously said. At some point around 6:30, Summer ventured back inside the home on her own because she wanted to go downstairs and play with her toys, he said. So this is what Don said. I went... Okay. So that's what Don said. And then it says, I went down in the basement and she was gone. So she went out the basement door, which was unlocked, and we haven't seen her since, Donald Wells says. Whoa. I just caught on to that. Don said that. So Don wasn't supposed to be there, right? We all know that. So this is the U.S. Sun paper. He's saying that Summer's planting flowers, and then he says, I went down the basement. Well, Candace is the one that supposedly went in the basement. I mean, am I the only one that's picking up on that? I don't know. Hold on one second. So I would feel like the reporter would correct that, but they said, let's see when this was posted, when this story was put out. November 2nd, 2021. So November 30th, that's when the second initial search happened. Probably misspoke. I don't know. I don't know. That's weird. I didn't know that. This article is awful. All the times wrong. They're wrong. Not the Wells script. Hold on a second now. What? How do you say that? It's someone else's version. Now, this is okay. Hold on now. Let me look at something real quick. Yo, Bubs, answer me in the chat? What was the time period? So, Don's boss, what time they say he left the job site? You brought this up last night. He left the job site with, was it 5:30? That's what you told me last night. They said he left at 5:30. So I will tell you what I'm going to try to do. And I don't know if law enforcement has sealed these records or not. I don't know if I should say it but I'm going to try to do something and see if we can get more information on this. So you know that dispatch in another county, if you call from another county, they have to transfer that 911 call to the county, to Hawkins County, if he's working in another county. Do you think that county would release the times that the call was put into them? And that's the question I had. Who said that they investigated the Wells financial statements? Raising Grace. Who said that? Not all these reaching ideas. Summer was. Hey, look, I'm not reaching. I just pointed out what this clip says. And I'm saying that these papers are, they have editors that it's their job to make sure a story is printed corrected. I was just asking if anybody else noticed that it said that. Neither here. Oh my God. Look, this is how it starts twisting. Still, it starts twisting. I pointed something out. An Amber Alert was issued for Summer the following day after being upgraded from an endangered child alert. We went over what specification or what the guidelines have to be for an Amber Alert to be issued in the state of Tennessee. One of them is an abduction. I don't know if that says anything, but I'm just telling you. So does anybody know really what a abduction means? So what all you have to do to abduct somebody is tell, like, say you went into somebody's home and you told them to sit down and shut up and do not move. You are holding somebody against their will, therefore they can charge you with abduction. Did y'all know that? I don't know who you are. Quit calling me. Okay. Yeah, look, it drives me. Alicia, I understand you're fed up with it because I've been I've been yelling stuff from the beginning, and it didn't get listened to, or I got caught, and then law enforcement will they come and validate behind things that I've said, and it's still people refuse to see it. But I'm going to tell you this. And this is why I encourage, I reached out to Dolly. I want him to see this with his own eyes. People that come and drive through Ben Hill and Beach Creek, you're not seeing everything. When I tell you that there's multiple entrances into the Wells property, and if that little girl, so we were told early on this wasn't the first time that Summer had walked away from that property. And it was somebody that I find very credible. And so that's why I've held on to that for so long. So if it's not the first in the Wells, and I never understood why they completely were like, no, she would never walk off here. But we were told very early on that she most definitely had walked off that property before. Literally out of the Wells mouth, they gave the boys walkie-talkies and let them roam 11 acres. Therefore, you're not got your eyes on your children all the time. And I can assure you Summer was probably with them. Don Sherfy Sr. said that he saw the kids in the road on numerous times, including Summer, unattended. On Ben Hill Road, he had to get them out of the middle of the road. Do y'all remember hearing that? So we have multiple people saying this, that they were unattended. I don't know. So weird. This case is so weird. But people say, oh, that could never happen. Nobody would be out there and could go through those woods and take a child. There is a path up there that literally you can drive a vehicle up and not step on a she caught bullhorn bay. Watch out for the crunchies. They're leaves, dried leaves. I'm sorry, I just found it funny. She said she made it. Okay, so this is what she made a statement one time. Literally, okay, so I'll move. There's literally a road you could drive a whole vehicle up to get to the top of the Wells property from the Beach Creek side. You don't even have to touch Ben Hill Road. Well, when Betty and them went out there, they put this out as a fact. They said there is no entrances. The only way you can get up on the top of the Wells property is to go up Ben Hill and go up the driveway. And I was listening to that, and I was like, that is a blatant lie. There is actually multiple ways to get into that property. And if somebody is familiar with them and is familiar with the family, it is not out of the realm of possibilities for somebody to just chill around up there that knows that family, familiar with the dogs, and do something. Dudley, many people were surrounding this little child. I feel so sorry for her. So, I mean, so many people. Yeah, I'm about fed up. I'm about done with this. I'm going to finish this. It just makes me angry. Okay. This goes to the next part right here. It says abduction claims. She would never leave our hill, he said in late June. I think that someone snuck up on her and grabbed her. I don't think she's in the area because that dog goes down to that road and that's the end of the trail. Because the dog goes down the end of that road and that's the end of the trail. But I don't know that for a fact. The way that she just disappeared, she would never do that, he added. We know that there are people praying all around the world, praying for her safe return. So many people love her. In recent interviews with WVLT, Donald elaborated further on his theory, insisting someone came through a wooded trail near the family's home and took the girl when nobody was watching. We don't know if someone was waiting in the basement or if she came outside here and went to the swing or possibly back up there to Grandma's. We don't know, he said. All we know is that she went down the basement. That's the only thing we know, to play with their toys. Donald added that the family's basement door was typically left open or unlocked. The boys a lot of times would leave it this unlocked and wide open a bunch of times. And we'd get on to them a lot and tell them you can't do that. But we'd always find it open a bunch of times. We tried to control that, but we couldn't control that 100% of the time, he continued. Donald told the network that from there he believed Summer was carried down a steep and rugged trail just a few feet away from the house. At the time of her disappearance, Donald said he was at work. His sons were inside the home and his wife and mother-in-law were outside facing away from the basement door. I can attest to that. And we filmed that. I was able to walk across the driveway, pick up a 35-pound bag of dog food, and get back across and down before Allie turned around in 11 seconds. 11 seconds, we filmed it. I got it. It was gone. And from up there at her camper, until you're there and you witness it, you can stand up there. You cannot see that basement door from that camper, from where from the camper door is what it is. That's 100% truth. I wanted to go up there and see if it was possible somebody could sneak up there. If that door was left open, holy crap. Okay, I'm good. I thought it was later than what it was. Okay, so yeah, if that door was left open, somebody could have got up there and somebody could have rolled in. I'm just saying it's possible. It is possible it could have happened. Am I saying that's what happened? I absolutely am not saying that for a fact. I'm saying it's possible it could happen. And there was another YouTuber who has law enforcement background that saw everything that we saw and chose not to film that. The trails and everything. When you see it with your own eyes, then evaluate the situation. If you haven't seen that footage of that property, please check it out. I don't know. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Yo Bub. She says, so is this validated from the boss that took her drywall? Yeah, approximately 5:30, and allegedly no one at the work site at 5:45. Well, I marked his route from Jonesboro to the back roads, and it leads all the way to Beach Creek Road. And I think it says it's 16 miles. Don't quote me on this, but I think what was the time period said it took. I'll have to map it out again. But there is a space of time. There's actually a big gap of time in that, if that's accurate. Yeah, that's true. Allie was the first time we went down there. Allie checked that door because people got really mad when Allie. So Candace had made a statement. I don't know if y'all caught that live we did with somebody that was part of the team that was helping renovate the house to the DCS guidelines that they said the standards had to be. If y'all caught that live, Allie talked about a conversation she had with Candace and I'm telling you, my wife, I trust her judgment and her discernment. And when she says that really bothered her, I believe her 100%. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's when Candace got angry when nobody showed up to help work on the house one day. And we said, well, we can't come up there where we're going to have our kids. And she said, well, you can just bring your kids with you and leave them in the basement and we'll work. First of all, I never took my children up there, and I never would, because that's not responsible of me as a parent. A child went missing. Second of all, I would never just leave my kids in that basement if that's the last place Summer was. And as a mother, you would never entertain that idea, correct? You would never say, let the kids play in the basement, we'll go work, we'll come check on them. That's a valid question. And I'm sharing this because, it is what it is. That was a big red flag to us. We are not naive. We just chose not to speak about stuff because we were trying to help find Summer. And by getting parents pissed off at you and stuff, you're really not doing anything progressive to help find her. Because what if they know something and luckily you have a good relationship and they say something that leads to finding that child? But people refuse to see that. But anyway, you can't make people understand anything. But listen, that's not the end of that conversation, by the way. So she says that to Allie. I hear that part and I'm like, no, and I'm like in the background. Again, Candace was angry that day that nobody showed up. And this happened frequently because it was her way or no way. Nobody was able to have their lives that way. Their own personal lives. It was what you could do for them. First of all, people are doing it for free, working to try to help you get your house in shape in the situation those boys return. They're not your work crew. You're not their boss. You can't fire them, and you damn sure don't need to take advantage of them. And I'm just saying that because that was how people were treated. Okay, so and I'm going to end it with this. I'm going to end this live with this. So then Allie is talking to her, and she said, Candace says this right after she said to leave. She said, it'd be a real shame if another child went missing up here. Allie came out and said, you need to come here. She hung up the phone. She said, you need to come here now. First of all, it wouldn't be a shame. It is it is the worst thing possible. Your one child, your little girl is missing, much less another child go missing. And second of all, who's targeting that house when no children are supposed to be there? Because they know the boys are taken and Summer is missing. So what predator is out there watching a house with no children in it? Very concerning to us. I'm just telling you the way it was said to her. Look, Allie is my wife is not a naive person. She's been around and seen a lot of stuff. And I trust her judgment. And I'm telling you, excuses, no, blah, blah, blah. Canadian girl. Okay, look, this is an idiot right here that we've tried to get her to come up and talk, but she won't. She comes over here and literally doesn't listen and tries to throw hate. Canadian girl, look, I've had it with you, so I'm going to personally block you because I'm tired of seeing your crap. Goodbye. Look, I'm done with it. You know, stupid people. Yeah, my wife was it really made her change her opinion on a lot of things. Because I can tell you this, we would go up on that property and we would leave after talking to him, like after the first search we ever did, like we went out to a search area, in the Beecher community. And this is the first time second time we went up to the Wells property because I filmed the trails. The second time was after the first search. They wanted to buy us pizza. And we went up there and, oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Oh gosh, so much that when I get angry, I can't think. Okay, yeah, so we would go up there after that first search and we ate pizza. We would leave the property, and one day we would be like, I don't know, I don't think that they did anything. Then you would leave the second time. We would leave like a second time after, and we'd be like, that was really weird. I don't know. They it would like. It would be so strange. I flip flop so much from what I felt. Why couldn't crimes have consequences? Why couldn't you eat there? No, I mean that's a real valid question. Why couldn't you eat there? Because I'm telling you right now, there was not feces and rats and roaches and stuff crawling everywhere. That's a lie. I can personally attest to that. I never saw that. Was there dirty mattresses? Yes. Was things up to par? No, they weren't. But there was clean tables to eat on and stuff like that. I don't know, but I mean that's going to be called taking up for the Wills. It's not. I'm telling the truth. I ate a piece of pizza there. I tried to show, like I said, I tried to treat people humanely. Kay and cops don't deal and are trained in child trafficking. What? What does that mean? Oh, I love it. The good ones are coming out now.
Alison Hill, my wife.
Oh crap! Hold on a second, guys. I gotta cut this off real quick. Hold All right, I gotta go. That was my wife, and I gotta do something. I appreciate you guys. I didn't get to cover that last part, but it's okay. I felt like we had a good discussion. I'm sorry this went so long. I usually don't make them go that long. Okay. Look, I'm not muted anymore. I unmuted it. I was on the phone when I was muted. So, did she answer me? That one person? No, I ended up buying Domino's pizza and took it up there. Or not Domino's. It was Little Caesars. Also said on Cher's channel that they only 50 or 70 feet away and turned around and she was gone. I think I remember hearing that. Who said? Yeah, cop. We just went over what the card team is trained in. I went over that was the FBI website. Go check it out. I am not muted. Thank you. Okay. I think that's it. I appreciate y'all. I love you. We're going to pray because that's what I do. Watch the number roll down. You can't handle it. Feel the power of God. The Holy Spirit will fall. You'll feel Him. I felt it a little earlier today. Anyway, God, thank you for the love that this channel has. Lord, we ask that we rebuke the hate. We ask that the truth come forward and all the speculation and false rumors be faded and put to the wayside. Summer deserves better than this. The boys deserve better than this. We ask, Lord, that the truth be found out and that people do due diligence and law enforcement don't stop at anything and give a whole full investigation to this child. We ask that the nonprofits and the people that can help bring more resources into this region and for this search, we ask that happens in the name of Jesus right now. Lord, I ask that you reach out or you be right there for somebody that doesn't even know that you need them right now. God, you could change their life. Let that person that's out there right now that feels worthless and feels like they don't have a purpose, Lord, let them know that you are with them and that you will rise them up and build them from the ground up to a better man, a better person than they ever thought they could be. God, thank you so much for what you do for the people who don't deserve it, who have turned their back on you. You always are faithful. You're a righteous and just God, and thank you for the grace you show on us, God. Lord, we ask for answers for these cases, and we ask for healing for anybody in this chat that needs it right now. Let peace be in the hearts of the families. And God, thank you just for being our Heavenly Father. Thank you for the ability to pray and talk to you like we're right there. You are our Father. We can confide in you. Lord, let your blessings fall on each and every one of us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Guys, I love you. I'll catch you on the next live. I appreciate everything. The kind words, everything that y'all have done. I remember. Okay. I think that's it. Am I forgetting anything? Remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice, but justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate. Do something nice for somebody today. Show that you care. You might change their life forever. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. I love you. Later.